feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my co-host today. Chris Hanks is the Executive Director and founder of the Shore Center for Entrepreneurship, and soon-to-be Assistant Director, Joey Roos, first graduate in the history of Kennesaw State University Entrepreneurship Center. Congratulations on that again. And we've got Rick Hale with us today, who's the owner and operator of Keller Williams Realty, the Heart Group of Atlanta, or the Heart of Atlanta Group. They have now 1,500 real estate agents, 46 employees, and locations all around the city. It's an amazing business that he's built. And for folks, on this post-show wrap-up, if you go to shrimptankpodcast.com, you can hear an entire replay of the interview that we did with Rick today. You can hear from the 150-plus entrepreneurs that we've interviewed before. You can always download us on iTunes or Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and wherever you can get us out there. It's just great stuff to listen on the car ride to work or the car ride home to learn more about becoming an entrepreneur. And Rick, we talked today on the show about a lot of things, but one thing you had mentioned at one of the breaks that I think would be interesting for people who are watching the post-show wrap-up is this idea of a blueprint to make $1 million, because making a seven-figure income is hard. There's not a lot of people that do it in America. What's that all about, the blueprint to making $1 million?
Well, just to back up a little before I go forward, when I started in the business, I was handed a phone book and was told simply, go call enough people, you'll make a living. And that does work, but it's not terribly strategic, and there's no way to dictate the level of daily engagement to know that you're on or off track. And so what our company's done an amazing job, and Gary Keller gets all the credit for interviewing and coaching some of the top agents for 30 years in the business. And he figured out there's a secret or method to the madness. And it usually stems from, and always stems from, the number of people that when they think real estate, they think you. So it starts with a database managed strategy. You've got to have a quality brand. You've got to have the service models. You've got to have follow-up skill. But at the end of the day, there are touch plans and marketing strategies that when deployed, it's called a 33 touch, that if you touch people 33 times or connect with them in substantive ways, every year, you're going to generate a 12 to 2 return on investment. And so for every 12 people that are in your MET database or people that know you, 2 of them should come your way and generate revenue. And so once you know you can unlock the formula, then it's just a numbers game to ramp up the number of people and the quality of the conversation that you're having with those people.
And I was so impressed in a lot of our conversations we had about sort of building a team, like truly going from, individual selling real estate to growing leading such a large team and building a culture within that. So what insight would you have for somebody who's watching right now about scaling something as large as you've done?
Well, the first step is to have vision that includes other people. If they're not attached, if their progression and their goals and their desires for a healthy, happy, big life aren't supported by the organization, they're not going to stick around, nor would they be attracted to it. So it starts with you first. And then once you master the skills and the branding and you have something to share and give and grow them with, then it's just a matter of executing based on models and systems. We've got, there's about 5 key positions on a real estate team. There's the lead generator and the listing specialist. There's a buyer specialist. There's a marketing person, transaction coordination, which is all the detail from the moment you have a contract to close, field supervisor, and then inside sales or someone to track and follow up on leads and help you with your marketing.
So on your end, aligning someone's position with the opportunities that they want in life is obviously important. But on the other end of the spectrum, when you're looking at a potential person to join your team, what's the biggest characteristic that you would say contributes to their future success?
Well, there's a number of things. One, we do have what's called the Keller Personality Assessment. It's an assessment tool that aligns roles with core skills or personality or approach to life. And then beyond that, it's someone with work ethic and a big why or purpose behind why they show up every day. Intelligence. Just work ethic, intelligence, cultural importance, and those are the big ones. Honestly, somebody willing to do the work and has the capacity to grow and learn. I'd rather hire attitude and teach skills all day long.
Now, I will admit I am a big fan of the $1 Million Listing shows that are on TV. Now, would you be able to say, do you have a favorite person on the $1 Million Listing shows? Because they have to come up in conversation somewhere, or you don't watch the shows at all?
I have to confess, I stay out of TV.
Do you guys watch the shows? No.
I don't watch TV.
I mean,
I watched it.
Yeah,
It's
we're
Frederick.
letting you down,
He sells-
right?
he sells one of the homes on there. Is there, for folks that are watching the show, especially those that live in Atlanta, is there one area in Atlanta now that you would say is still an area where the homes may be underpriced that you think in the next 5 or 10 years that you could see some growth? I know it's grown like crazy, as a lot of cities that may be watching across the country.
I mean, back to what I said earlier, I would definitely lean into areas that are regentrifying their infrastructure, small town energy, because that's what people want. They want live, work, walkability. Traffic's probably the number one reason Atlanta is. That's our biggest black eye. We've just getting around the city is such it's just painful sometimes. And so the more you can do that in an epicentered way, the lifestyle and quality of life matter, and those things are very attractive. There's south of I-20, I think, is hot still.
Yeah.
It's on fire. I think the west side is amazing what they're doing.
Back towards Bolton Road and out that way. Yeah.
The Beltline's been just the most amazing initiative for in-town neighborhoods and connecting neighborhoods that otherwise wouldn't necessarily have a natural flow and connection. So anywhere along the Beltline, you're virtually guaranteed a positive experience from an appreciative perspective.
Well, those folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up today, and there are some people out there that have always said to themselves, I want to get into real estate and I want to become an agent and see if I can make this a career, or they may actually want to list their home for sale and get some of the best in the business to do it for them, or they may be looking to buy a home. How can they get in touch with you and Keller Williams and get the process started?
Well, Keller Williams has a website for general information about the company, kw.com. theheartofatlantagroup.com is our group's website. And then rickhale.com is also my personal website. And you can find me at rickhale.com. And if I'm not the guy or my team's not the guy for you, I have an amazing group of agents that work for me that are amazing professionals that'll at your avail and ready to go.
Well, thanks for coming on the show today, and congratulations on your success in helping the city become better. We appreciate that. And for folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up here, I have to say this. Every time we interview an entrepreneur, it reminds me of things that I've learned over my career. And one of the things that we talked about today, not only becoming a successful real estate agent, but probably applicable to any business, is this idea that activity equals effectiveness. If you want to get more effective at something, get more active at doing it. Do more of it, and you'll get better at it. And I suspect that a lot of the top agents at Keller Williams, underneath Rick's guidance, that's what they do. They get more active and they get more effective. So think about this. If you're not meeting your sales goals or your revenue goals, ask yourself that question. Do I need to be more active to become more effective? And that's your post-show wrap-up for the Shrimp Tank.